Happy Wednesday. Happy, what is it? November 26th, the day right before Thanksgiving. So, for those who celebrate Thanksgiving, look, I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your loved ones, with your family, with your close friends, or whoever you typically do celebrate it with, right? First things first, I do want to jump in over here. Actually, it doesn't even show it. That's good. I want to jump in right over here. In our free Discord, we finally had, you know, two people in here who got payouts. One was, I believe, just last Thursday or last Friday, and then one just got it right now, I believe. Obviously he did tag his name out, which is, of course you don't want to ever post your true identity online, so I don't blame him, but it has today's date. Um, so big congratulations to this member. Um, I Obviously, this Discord right now has 44 people in it. We just started it literally 13 days ago. We started this Discord 13 days ago with a group of, really, it was just, I think, 6 or 7 people, and now we got 44 people in here, right? So we got, look at this, right? Seven, obviously me, got 33, and plus we got some other people. I don't even know how this stuff works, right? But 44 people in total. Look, that's crazy, right? And this Discord, look, it just goes up. I mean, we just got so many messages, right? So um it's great. I mean, one person um basically didn't even read the convo for one whole day, and next thing you know, he's like, looks like I've missed a lot of drama. um right. See, y'all don't shut up. Look, we this is a very friendly and great community, right? So everything starts off with mental health. It starts off with positivity. You can do anything that you truly put your mind to test. It's just you have to stay consistent with it, and you obviously have to, you know, um, make sure you're all in. So again, I'm just really happy to see this member, to be honest. I know our other member, he got a payout and then he immediately bought a new desktop, right? A trading desktop. So I'm really happy for him. Now, regardless, let's get to the charts. I'm actually playing some games over here, so if you hear my controller, just bear with me. I'm actually trying to make this fast, and I'm also trying to play while I got a party out of town to be tonight. So, anyways, let's just rewind it so you can see it. And this is why we do trading, right? We do trading. Obviously, this is my full-time job, and since I also look at Nas, I also like taking these trades on my own or my personal account too, right? So, honestly, when you kind of look at this, now let me just zoom in. When you look at this, you should have two of the really, and obviously, each of these candles are in increments of 15. When you look at this, you should have two questions. Actually, it's really one question. Are we gonna buy here? Are we gonna sell there? What are we in? Because we're obviously in this little range. So are we gonna, or is there something in between this, right? So actually, I guess three questions, if you will. And if you ask yourself those three questions every day, I mean, with the ultimate question being, what are we doing? What have we done? And what are we doing, right? So obviously we saw this, we saw this, we saw this, finally came back up, and we did have this little movement, and when we broke it, we finally flushed, retested, flushed, came back up, came down to retest, came up, came down to retest. Obviously, I wanted to see it come up, and I wanted it to basically hit and break the zone. Why that zone? Because this is where all the highs basically were previously. So I wanted to see it break that, right? Don't get me wrong. I had a lot of problems this morning trading, to be honest. Technical difficulties and whatnot. I mean, this has just been a really mentally tough week. Charts aside, it's just kind of feels like it's just not a great week for me to be trying my luck and for me to be testing some things, right? So Monday, I basically, for those who didn't watch the video, Monday at my office completely just lost the connection, and I just had a major blowout. I mean, I had no choice. I couldn't even close out my trades just because um, everything was connected to the office's Wi-Fi. And then basically, by the time I did close out using my own cellular data, and I had to, obviously, using the app that I use, which is MT4 for my personal trades, I had to reconnect to the server, right, since I turned off Wi-Fi. So, look, it just sucked. It sucked really bad. Um, what else? I took a sell, did not. did not nearly. I mean, that could have been like a at least a 70 pointer, 60 pointer. Who knows? I mean, if we basically do say 130, say 135 as a matter of fact, all the way up to 173. And then if we look back, I mean, sure enough, she actually retraced a bit. It was so I entered, which was like right there, right? I entered right there. Basically, once we crossed that, that was my confirmation that okay, this is gonna be a buy. This is gonna be a day that we break it, right? So, obviously, yes, that was like a 50-point stop loss, and I kind of made peace with myself that I'm not really even interested in taking a loss of that big. So if it comes down, I'm just gonna cut it. I'm not even gonna wait for it to retest this. Now, if it does have potential to retest this, I will take another buy and I will immediately make back my loss plus profit. Right. So you have to imagine what every and each scenario could look like, because if you don't, that's when you start panicking. Right. So you always want to prepare before you start panicking. If you don't prepare, you will panic. This is not a hobby, guys. A lot of you guys come in to trade as in like some type of game, right? This is not a game. This is not something that you do because you feel amazed, right? Now a lot of people think I could be a millionaire if I just make at least 1,000, 1,500, 25, 3,000 a day. And a lot of people, and I'm not even hating on prop firms or anything like that. It's just obviously I'm a little bit of an old school investor. My strategy, my line of thinking. I mean, my line of thinking, my strategy with with investments got me with basically penny stocks. I've had one strategy through penny stocks, options. Options though I have been not profitable even in the slightest. Can't make that up. But I was profitable in penny stocks. Um, Even though that journey was short lived, especially it was all the way through COVID, early of COVID, I believe. So wasn't that for about 3.5 years. Um, because of penny stocks, I actually got this job that I'm doing right now, which is it's kind of funny. It's a long and crazy story. If you think you could do trading, you think you could manage investments just because the way you trade this, 95% of people honestly would not stand a damn chance right now. Because Forex is very investment like. Now, I would always say this: Forex and futures are very similar. However, it's the communities that make it different. It's futures. I guess there's certain strategies that make it a little bit more applicable, if you will, right? A little bit more of a different aspect to reach it in terms of, how to address futures trading and the strategy, right? But I still stand by what I said. Futures Forex are very similar in terms of execution, in terms of lots, contracts, micros, minis, right? So don't get it twisted. I mean, if you want to hear how, the next YouTuber or basically nobody who has a legal um, investment equity officer license, right? It's like a certificate, investment policy certificate. If you want to listen to those people who don't have it, then you're basically going down a dangerous route. Now I'm over here, obviously, yes, while I am qualified, this is not legal nor financial advice. This is just me telling you guys that if I've been doing this for so long successfully as well, then you guys could do it too, right? So again, this is how you should be looking at the markets. Now again, we came up, drop, came up, retested it, finally bounced back up, came down. Look at that, we bounced, and when we broke it, you see that wick? The wick basically shows that we have weakness up here because now we have momentum to the downside. And we broke it. No, we didn't break it yet, but we had double top bodies over here that closed, and then when we broke it, we finally had this up momentum, right? So rewind this video, guys. This is a great video of how to learn Forex trading. I mean, Forex or futures trading, honestly, it does not matter in terms of how to trade Nas100 and US30. And really anything else on my watch list, even gold, but I would say gold is probably best with a different strategy or maybe with a different time frame, or maybe just trading that with a different time zone. I don't know, or time session. Sorry, I don't know. I honestly have hardly even looked at gold myself, so I can't speak about that. All right, but it was clear. It was clear. It was an easy day in terms of charting. It was a very difficult day if you're not experienced, and if there was space for doubt, this trade would have broke you. And even for me, I'll be first to admit it. It was very, very challenging because even though I got a late entry, and while I knew that she was gonna pop, I hardly got a pop because every time she would create a high, she would come back for a retracement. So she would come back for the retracement. At that point, I'm already back in drawdown, and I'm like, okay, how much am I willing? Oh my god, how much am I willing to endure of a drawdown for the sake of creating higher highs? Because that's exactly what my game plan was. So look, market's not always going to move in one direction. It could always be moving very much like this, right? Like this, like this. So that's exactly how this morning was, and then all of a sudden, we made that, and then we're doing this, and then we just crashed if we press skip, right? So fair enough. If we This is actually even more proof like my strategy works, because look at this, right? Look at this. If I just move this, look at this. So it's funny because we were holding literally right, I want to say right here. I'm not even looking at the wick to right. I'm actually looking at that wick. I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at basically the double bottom. Well, make that triple bottom over there, right? Then we go over here. Look at this wick. All right, see how many candles are actually sitting here, right? So that's actually how you do charting. Now I could have took multiple buys, but in case if I missed those buys, I could have got this buy right here. So I actually did ended up chasing this one, but at that point, um, with Thanksgiving tomorrow, I just took just a 20 pointer. I had no idea we were basically running, right? I had no idea. And see, it turned my previous, what was a previous resistance zone, into basically support, right? For every price floor, there's a price ceiling. For every price ceiling, there's now a price floor. In other words, support and resistance. So look, this is the most um simple and also effective strategy. It's a very, very simple route to go and to study, right? If you will. Even with this trade over here, honestly, I was looking for basically this wick to come close to retesting this double top for a sell. But at the same time, I knew that she could hold easily something here because we had that wick. We had this wick over here, and we had these three wicks and plus triple basically bottoms, if you will, right? So I'm not surprised at all. Um, it just today just really required patience. I mean, though the chart setup, which is my A plus setup for sure, the price action did not make anything easy, not even in the slightest, right? So price action, nobody evaluates that. Everybody just evaluates like, today was an A plus or today was so free. No, there's actually levels and criteria you have to think about as an investment equity officer, right? So there's so many things you have to think about. um it's so true. Investments are based off of, there's at least, I can tell you off of my head right now, there's at least 9 different percentages you have to think about and you have to consider before placing a trade. Percentage of winning, percentage of risk, percentage of that count, percentage of profit to hopeful or expectational gain slash goal, right? So again, that's just 4 I'm listing right now. And then the fifth one, I believe it's weekly, what is a weekly gain, right? Weekly gain expectation percentage. Again, there's just so many things, but not a lot of people even think about it because they just want to look at the charts and they just want to place a buy or place sell. And in fact, statistically speaking, you actually should be using buy stops, buy limits, sell stops, sell limits. Right now, I kind of just forfeited that. I kind of just gave up on that once I got into forex, because at the same time, if you could get in now and if it's basically testing it now, you want to jump in now and you immediately want to close your trade or manage your trade in some type of break even, just adjusting your stop loss, right? So even if that's going to be basically a break even or slight profit trade, you just want to close it out for basically whatever, so you can walk safe into the next trade, right? You want to walk out of the trade safely, right? So it's just funny, so many things that so many of these new generational traders don't do. You would not survive in the investment industry. But at the same time, I'm here to teach you guys, to show you guys exactly how to make profits, how to chart, how to basically come back tomorrow and make, more money, right? That's the sole and single purpose of this whole YouTube channel, of these videos, of my TikTok, to show you guys that if I'm doing it, you can do it too. And of course, if anybody can make profit. Of course, you should too, right? You could too. So that's it, guys. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving tomorrow. Or I know some people are already putting turkeys in the oven, and I know the party I'm going to tonight, they'll be. I think they already got a turkey over there. So uh, have a wonderful Thanksgiving once again. Um, Celebrate it with the people you love, with the people around you. It's actually really, really bitter. You don't know when could be the next time you could see them, if you're even blessed or lucky enough to see them, right? So that's Thanksgiving. I'm definitely taking a flight, or maybe a long drive. I don't know yet, but I need to see these people. I don't want to take anybody in my life for granted again. So, peace, love, and cheers, and thank you as always.